We are
are
live.
live.
Yes. Our viewers, we are live once again. And today I have an extra entrepreneur who is coming with some fresh nuggets. So excited to have you again. I know you always come with nuggets. I'm ready. And
Loaded.
I'm here with my coach. I'm here with my mentor. I'm being surrounded with entrepreneurs.
Powerful.
The powerhouse, mastermind. They are coming.
We are ready to form a mastermind.
You're not
We
ready to
already a
form a mastermind. We're already a
We
mastermind.
already a mastermind. Yes. All right.
Eh?
So our viewers, we are still reading this book called A Changed Mind. Today again, I'm your host. My name is Beatrice Onkware, streaming live from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm in the medical field, a mom of 3, and a proud digital business owner, a mompreneur. So with me today, I have 3 wonderful entrepreneurs that are doing so well in the business, and they are here with their nuggets. All right, Miss Fuluke, you're up first. Tell us your name and where you're streaming from.
Okay, thank you for having me again today. Happy to be here once again. Good morning from my side. Good morning, co-presenters and our wonderful coach on this session.
Yes.
And to our viewers, our audience, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time zone. And I hope you're doing amazing today. By way of introduction, my name is Foluke Adebayo. I'm originally from Nigeria. I am a mom, a wife. I am a Christian, an accountant by education, and a proud digital business owner. I run this business on this side to supplement my household earnings. And hope you are ready to be with us on this session today to enjoy every nugget we are here to share with you this morning. So with this, I give it back to you, able host for the day.
Yes. Miss Joyce, you're up next.
Thank you so much. I'm also happy to be here. My name is Joyce. I'm streaming live from Atlanta, Georgia. That's where I live with my family. And here I work in automotive industry. And I'm a proud digital business owner, as you've heard, and a successful mompreneur in the business. That's why we are here, to share our experience, our nuggets, to inspire some of you. So we welcome you. Be with us as long as we are here. And so with that being said, I give it back to you, my wonderful host.
Thank you. And my coach, last but not least.
Thank you for hosting us and inviting us over to this wonderful session. My name's Dismas Ndiga. I'm streaming live from Devonport, Iowa. And I am originally from Nairobi, Kenya. And our family lives in Atlanta, Georgia. So I have a family. And I am in trucking. That means I'm a road warrior. And I am in the cold regions of Midwest. So today I'm dressed appropriately to keep myself warm. And I'm also a digital business owner. It's the digital business owner that is taking me away from the cold. So it's taking me, I joined it to replace my trucking business. And I'm loving every step of it. So with that being said, I am turning it back to you, our wonderful host and professor. Back to you.
All right. Thank you so much. The topic today is the laws of the system, actually part 2, because we did it again yesterday, but we did not exhaust the questions. So we are going to continue with the questions, and our viewers, grab your coffee, grab your tea, get ready to be with us until the end. And my hope is that you're getting the value that we are giving out. All right, Miss Joyce, are you ready?
Yes.
Show them what we did yesterday. Yes. First question for you. Explain how we are living in a loving system. David talks that we are all living in a loving system. Can you tell our viewers what does that mean?
Okay. Oh, what did I do?
Yeah,
I was I was trying to put the question here. Okay. Yes. As I was saying yesterday, I've loved this book because it has taught me a lot, and it has made me read, and I'm almost finishing the book, and I'm really changing, evolving, as we were talking
self-evolving.
Yeah.
Self-evolving.
Yes, I am doing that. I don't know why I keep on doing that. So, on this question, how are we living in a loving system? So, on the introduction, so let us just leave that alone. The universe, the system is fundamentally loving, supportive, and designed for your growth, even when it doesn't look like it. Yes, so that is how the author says. That is why he is calling it a loving system. And by that, he means I have how many points? Like 5 points supporting that. So one, he says the system is always responding to your thoughts. So in explanation, he says, this is that way, not to punish you, but to show you exactly what you believe so you can grow from it. So he says life mirrors your internal state, so you can see where you are still thinking from. If you are thinking from fear, and where you are thinking from truth, like if you are thinking from fear or from truth. So this mirroring is an act of love because it gives you the chance to wake up, shift, and evolve. So that is one. And second, he says the system is designed to bring you back to the truth. It's like when we are born, we just live in other people's paradigms, beliefs. So once you realize and you see like either they are not serving you, you decide to change or stay there. And don't complain if you decide to change. So by that, when he says that the system is designed to bring you back to the truth, he says whenever you think from fear, limitation, or unworthiness, the system produces resistance. Stress, doubt, frustration. So this is not to harm you, but to guide you back to the aligned, empowered version of you. So the discomfort is a signal that this thinking is not who you really are. That correction is love. So reminding you to come back to where you belong. Yes. So that he says the system gives you more of the state you choose. As you were saying, if you choose whatever state, you get more of it. So if you like it, stay there. If you don't like it, stop, be aware, and then shift. So what does he mean here? He says if you choose fear, you see more fear. If you choose possibility, you see more possibility. This is not punishment or reward. It is neither of those. It is consistency, and consistency is love. So because it allows you to understand the rules, use them, and transform your life. Don't just see them like that and fit in. Okay, the fourth one, he says the system responds to your expansion. He says every challenge, every delay, every echo. We talked about the echo yesterday. So every delay, every challenge, every echo of your old reality is there to help strengthen your belief, anchor your new decision, expand your consciousness, or show you your power. So a loving system gives you exactly what you need for your next level. And the fifth one says that you are never working alone. So the system is always working with you, not against you. Once you align your thinking with the truth, the system begins to open doors. It brings clarity. It guides it guides your decisions. It connects you with people, ideas, and opportunities, and all that. So this is the flow. This is what they call the flow that becomes obvious when your mind is changed. So in simple terms, now putting it all together, we live in a loving system because life is built to reveal your limiting beliefs. It guide you back to truth and support your expansion every time you choose a higher level of thinking. So it is not random. Know that. It is not against you.
Yes.
It is always working for you.
For you.
Yes, that is what that one says, and that's all I can say on that. And I give it to you.
Wow. I wish everybody understood what you said. The system is working for you. You know,
Yes.
whether you are coding them as bad, even that bad thing is working for you, because once you become aware, you know, it's leading you to make the good decision. You know,
Yes.
it's deep. All right. Thank you so much for those wonderful nuggets. Coach, are you ready?
Born ready.
Born ready. I like that.
Yes,
The
ma'am.
question is, considering what Joyce has just explained, if there is no mistakes in the divine perfection of how the system functions, because our topic is the laws of the system, why death?
Wonderful. Wonderful. I love that question a lot. I love it. For me, I love it. You know, I'll even start by words of Paul. Paul, I love him in the Bible because he talked about he died daily. And I wondered, if this man is dying daily and is still alive, what does that mean? So, because you've asked a very deep question, and a question because death is one of those things that people fear the most.
Yes.
It's one of our 6 innate fears of man. We are so afraid of death, and you see that it causes a lot of people pain. That's why they're afraid even to get old, because as you get older, they're thinking, oh my goodness, now they're about to die. And then I think religion didn't help, because it scared people so much and told them, you bad, when you leave here, you're going to hell. So chances are you're like, oh my goodness, will I make it to heaven or hell? I don't know. So that's the fear of that unknown has been such a big thing. And I love the way, not only from this book, I love this book brings a lot of awareness. So for me, I'll break down a few things so that I can get to a point where you can understand. First of all, life is eternal. When we say life is eternal, it means it has no end. There's no end to life. In fact, what you call death, I will only give you an analogy as I explain this so you can catch it. What the caterpillar calls death is what is butterfly, is what is the making of the butterfly. So the first question I really want to ask you, and just answer it silently within you, is a question of identity. Because if you can really understand who you are, literally now you can understand why really life is for you, life is loving, and even the idea that there's death is literally going to be behind you, because you're going to understand death in a very different way. So let's start with, who are you? Can you really understand who are you? If I stripped you every label that you think you are, if you think you are a mother, I tell you, that's just a label. If you think you are what you do, if I strip all those things, what is going to be left of you? What is really you? And until you understand, you are an extension of what you're calling God is. You are that extension. You are spirit, having a human expansion here, having a human interaction. And why the spirit brought you here is for the expansion. It's not like you're here without a purpose. Every thought that you're thinking, every interaction, even what you're calling trouble, you're calling bad, there's nothing bad. That's all part of what makes the expansion. For instance, until you understand who you are, then you'll have, whenever you're going through, let's say, things that you don't like in your life, namely, in my former day, I used to give it a meaning, problems. Those problems, I used to think, oh, this is so bad. And truly had to understand, if I am eternal, how will life continue expanding if there was no moments of expansion where it expands at? So what I had to understand, even the things I used to call problems were really contrasts, where that contrast is like the spirit has decided it has to have a yin and a yang, and whenever that yin and the yang interact, it will look like a problem, and it's also the expansion. So if I understood now, I have a different meaning, that I go into what I used to call a problem, and I understand this is an expansion. Now I can choose, I have a choice to choose, am I gonna focus on it as a problem, or I'm gonna focus on it as an expansion, and I'm gonna be looking for a benefit instead of looking at it as if it's something that is bad happening. I'll be looking for what is good that is coming from this, because this is an expansion. Just for me understanding, as a spirit, it cannot be bad. I'm not here to react to the condition. I'm here to create the condition. I'm part of that, creating the new condition that I want in my life. And this is the opportunity the spirit has brought for me to grow. And it starts with, what am I aware of? What I bring, what am I observing at any particular moment, especially in moments of contrast? Where will I put my focus on? So if I focus and understand as a spirit, this is an expansion, now the meaning is different. And what I focus on is different. And yet you come to realize what you're focusing on is more important than what is happening. So in this identity, I will say, you don't die because of the snake bites. You will die because of the poison that was left inside after the bite. So in actual sense, it's not what is happening that is the challenge. It's actually the meaning you're giving to what is happening that becomes a challenge. So the meaning, because man does not understand where they come from and where they're going, when they leave this physical perspective, they have given a meaning to death like it's something so bad. And yet, death is part of what is going to be happening for your life. You're going to be dying from who you are to who you have to become as you expand, because the whole universe is going to be expanding, whether you like it or not. It's going to be going from one glory to another glory, to another glory, to another glory. So as you expand your thoughts, as you go to the new thoughts, you'll find that the old self has to die off. And once you understand as a spirit, what I want you to really see here, I'll bring here another analogy so that you can see it clearly. Is, think of it, you've been to a movie, you've seen a movie. And in a movie, when you're watching it, it is so real. The characters of the movie are very real. So now think of it, you as a spirit, the spirit is really the actor, and the main role of that actor is going to act as if it's in the physical world. And from the spirit perspective, it knows it's acting all this because it knows at the end of the day it cannot die, it cannot be destroyed. In fact, it was never born, it will never die. And yet from a physical perspective, it will seem like it was born. It will seem like it can go through series of things and die. And yet the essence is still the same. Just like when the actual actor is acting the movie, he becomes a part. And at some point he knows, when he goes back to his family, he knows that was only a movie. So when you look at it that way and understand, this is only a part that you're playing for the movie, which is life. It wants you to play in that part. Now, the difference between this movie and the actual life, how life happens, the actual expansion is happening when we are playing the parts that we are playing here. Every thought that we are thinking, every thought is not just a random thought. You're either thinking a thought that is already existing, or you're going through a thought that when you're going through that challenge, you expand that thought to another level that the thought has never gone to. That is the beauty about this. So when you travel light in this journey and literally understand, stop, what I mean by light is cast all this burden of giving meaning that bad things are happening. Now I can even understand why Jesus was saying, cast all your burdens on me. Travel light in a meaning that now you're looking for what is the best thing in every situation. You're looking for a silver lining. You don't have to understand everything, but look for a point where you can recalibrate to where you feel a little bit better even in that situation. Sometimes feeling better might look like, instead of being depressed, you go to a feeling better where you're angry, but you don't stay there. And then you go to a little bit higher where you're a little bit disappointed, but you're going up and up until you get to a point where now you can even be neutral in a very storm looking like environment. Second, you also learn to understand you can always assume the best in every situation. And like I said, what looks like death to you is just a transformation from one form to the next form. If you are in a form of struggling financially, what that problem will look like in your life will look like, oh man, something has come to finish you. And yet is what is giving you back to the next level, which is abandoning money. When you've gone through this journey and the end comes and you think, okay, you have dropped because your body has dropped dead and everybody's crying and crying over your body, you understand the essence wasn't the body. That was just the dress that you're wearing as a spirit, because as a spirit you've gone back to the Father. So you did not die. You have finished your mission. You've gone to another, and you take on, if it's another body or whatever that essence is going to take on, it is keep going. It's not the end. It is still going. It's only that we had a meaning that that was the end, and we believe that was the end. Now, with a renewed force where I know energy cannot be destroyed, spirit cannot be destroyed, even matter cannot be destroyed. It can only transform into something else. So now I understand, oh, even when I leave here, I'm going back to what? To what I was. And where do I even get that from the Bible perspective? Jesus, who came to show us the way, he said, when it looked like it was the end, he said something very, very important that I can take from there. He said he's going back to the Father. So if he was dying, how can he be going back to the Father? And he's the one showing us the way. And literally when he resurrected, came back even to be live, to have life again on this earth, that is also telling me, oh my goodness, even all these things, all this time we've been believing, once you're dead, you're gone, you can come back. Not only that, even when you look when he was here, the instance of Lazarus, when everybody said he was dead, he didn't recognize he was dead. He said, no, he's in a deep sleep. So it's only the meaning that we had been given because people didn't understand what death is that made us look at it like it's something that, oh, this is bad. So for now, I even take for the Bible. In Ecclesiastes, it says something. You should cry when the child comes in and rejoice when the person is what you're calling dead. And it seems like we do it on the reverse us. We are happy when the child comes in, and it seems like we'll be crying when it seems like they're parting. And yet the Bible in Ecclesiastes says do the opposite. So the last thing I'll just say is this. Once you understand literally, we are eternal. Eternal. Life is eternal, and you're part of what life is. That to me gives you the reassurance to know the spirit itself, I call it God, could not really not have a purpose with this thing called death. If it's here, there was a purpose for it. And for me now, with all this understanding I've understood, is that he wanted me to come here and really know myself, my soul, and really know itself as spirit. And now it can act as spirit. And from a spiritual perspective, it can really take its place and its assignment as a spiritual perspective. So at that moment where I've learned my lesson and I really come to know, because even if you don't get it to know when you're still in the state of your physicalness, when you transition to the other side, you will learn your lessons a little bit better. You'll be able to see in light much better because your soul had gone through the process and it has grown. And at that point, just like a baby, when they overgrow in the womb, they have to come out of that world that they knew and go to another world. And they come in crying, thinking it's the worst thing that has happened to them. And yet, it's the best thing, it's the beginning for life. So with that, I give you to know it's a birth, not a death. That's of that new world that you're going to be in. When you're thinking you're dying, you're just opening up to a new world. And with that, I give it back to you.
Wow. Wow.
He has, this one has eaten the book and finished everything. Until if you listen, you just get lost. But I shortened his.
Awesome.
Go ahead.
Tell us in a language that we don't get lost.
In a nutshell.
Uh-huh.
In a nutshell, that death exists because life is a cycle, and consciousness is eternal. And endings allow transformation and growth. So, in a divine system, even death is part of the perfection.
Yeah.
As simple as that.
Awesome.
That's it.
You see, I explain a lot so that somebody can now really understand on a daily basis how you apply what you're hearing. Because most people are assuming the worst instead of assuming the best. Most people are looking at life as, problems and good and bad instead of understanding what is my preference. Focus on what your preference. Leave the conditions alone. What they are, they just come here to tell you what you need. You know your preference. Now focus on your preference. What is seen comes from what is not seen. So what you're doing in the unseen is more important than what is in the seen. Even in the business right now, a lot of us struggle with the seen. They want the business to change, and instead of focusing inside on what is the goal, what is the goal? What is the goal? I want 682. Feel as a 682 right now. Maybe our viewers don't understand that a milestone in our business, whatever that milestone is, feel it now as if you've already gotten it, and the steps to it are going to be guaranteed. They're going to just come in their own way. Just like when you put a seed in a good ground, it just grows to what is hidden inside of it. So what is hidden inside of your goal is that imagined state over and over and over, the invisible state that you're feeling over and over and over, and enjoying the process, going through the process with so much joy because you're not giving meaning to what the process is. Can you imagine if the seed would give you a process when it dies? Because even the Bible says, unless the seed dies, it will abandon it alone. So can you imagine when the seed was in the process of becoming a tree, it has to die to what it thinks it is. And imagine if it had a awareness like a human, and it will say, no, I don't want this. Please, Lord, take me. That is not the attack of the devil. The devil is attacking me. He's trying to kill me. Can you imagine if it was resisting like we resist? What would have happened? The tree would never come, and it will never be fruitful. You understand? So you can see when you understand it from that aspect, and now you allow it to know that, oh my goodness, the purposes of God are being prevailed in every situation that I even thought was not necessary. Now it opens you up differently, and you will see things unfolding. There is no goal that is too big. There's only a small mind that keep giving meaning to the habits that is so used to thinking with those littleness that it never allows itself just to enjoy the process and go with the flow, how the spirit wants that thing to unfold, and just feel good as if it's already happened. That is at the essence of everything that I'm saying. With that, I just give it back to you.
Yeah.
Wow. That brings me to the last question. Last but not least, Miss Feluke, I hope you're ready. David, who is the writer of the book, says there are no problems and nothing ever goes wrong. Can you elaborate for our viewers why there are no problems and nothing ever goes wrong?
Okay, there are no problems and nothing ever goes wrong. I would respond to it generally. Because, many a times we feel there is a problem even when none exists. It is always a matter of the mindset. Because what you give attention to usually magnify. It can even magnify beyond what it is originally. So responding to there are no problem, and what's the second part of the word again? Sorry, please.
The question is
there are no problems and nothing ever goes wrong. She left.
You will lose her?
Yes.
There are no problems. Yes, just like I was explaining before she comes. I'll just take her apart meanwhile while she's coming. When you actually understand, first meaning, you have to take that meaning that you're calling it a problem, because anything you call it, it has to become the thing you're calling. The beginning of understanding as a spiritual being, your decrees are established. When you decree a thing, it's being established. So the first thing, just from why I love how the writer is telling you there are no problems, that is only a contrast that helps you go from one to the other. Because there's a law of polarity. With the law of polarity, says everything has its opposite. And okay, she's back. She's back. She's back. She's
I'm
back.
like,
Go ahead.
what
We are
went
back.
wrong?
Sorry.
It's all yours. You're back.
Okay. So continuing with what I was talking about, there are no problem and nothing ever goes wrong. So like I started explaining that it's always a case of mindsets.
Mhm.
If you see that in any situation, if you see possibility, it will, you will be able to magnify possibility, and you'll be able to be positive towards every situation that is arising. But when somebody begins to see a problem, even in a situation, even if when it looks like there is a problem, but you are being
Mhm.
positive about it, your
Mm.
word, your mindset, your reaction can make things feel better, even in a
Mhm.
crisis
Mhm.
situation. It
Mm.
depends on
Mhm.
how you approach. You see some people, apart from, let's leave the angle of faith. Fine, we all walk by faith as a Christian. But you see some people, when they are in the midst of a very serious challenges, you will never see them say anything negative with their mouths. And we know that
Mhm.
there is even power in our tongue and in
Mhm.
every word that comes out of us, because they
Mhm.
go a long way, in affecting our reality. So talking about there are no problem, it depends on what individual want to see. If you want to
Mhm.
see problem, good,
Mhm.
is your disposition to whatever that is currently happening. How you like open up to it makes you to see the good side of it and the bad side. I
Mhm.
just cited an example of somebody that will be in a very challenging situation, yet such a person will not proclaim or say out anything negative. They will still remain positive, right? But meanwhile, some people would be, their problem is not even as much as any other person's own. Yet to see them, they will be like expanding it beyond what it is. Anybody they come across, they are too open to quickly share. Even those that
Mhm.
will even help them to still further magnify their challenges. So it's
Mhm.
a matter of what is your mindset. Is a function of how are you seeing that thing? Are you really seeing it as a problem, or you are seeing it as a challenge that you can easily walk around, like getting support when needed, and just be positive even in that challenging situation. And nothing can ever go wrong if you don't permit it to go wrong.
Mhm.
That's the second part of it.
Mhm.
If you permit it to go wrong, it would go wrong beyond your wildest imagination. But when you are in a crisis or challenging situation, and you see yourself as the person that you are in control, that
Mhm.
whatever I want this situation to be is what is actually going to be, then you bring in your human factor, God factor, everything that you need to keep that situation under control. Maybe you are a Christian, you believe in prayer and fasting, go ahead and do it. Your faith, will deliver unto you as much as you believe. Maybe you are somebody that feels that, oh, physical efforts need to be put into this to salvage this situation that is, seemingly going wrong. Then go ahead and do the needful. There is really no situation under this heaven that, would completely devoid solution unless you fold your hand and you don't want to do what is needed. So many people, their finances is not smiling. They are
Mhm.
struggling, and yet they don't want to do the right thing. Let me relate it a bit to the business. You will see somebody that really need help. They are not happy with the way they are living, yet they
Mhm.
don't want to take an iota of risk. You will see them say they are skeptical. You will see them
Mhm.
say they are shy. You will see them
Yes.
say that whatever, what have you. In a
Mhm.
situation that is not palatable to them, they have given that situation, they are giving that thing power to go more than what it should be. So no situation on this planet Earth will ever go wrong unless you as an individual permit it. If you don't permit it, if you see yourself that, oh, this is my life, I need to take it and work things out on how it's going to be easy for me, then things will go the right way. But if you are afraid, You are scared, you are skeptical, you don't want to take risk. I don't know what to say in that situation. This jovial this thing, they will say, oh, your is your case, sorry is your case. But so many people permit that in their life just because they leave things to oh, that's how God wants it to be. God doesn't want anything bad for anybody. It depends on what you allow for yourself and how far you are able to rise in any situation that is not looking well for you, to know that, oh, this is your life, this is your destiny, and you have a major role to play in bringing things back to normal. So with that, I give it back to our able host.
Wow, I like that.
This
And
is your business.
yes, so now I can put yours and Joyce's together. Joyce was talking about we're all in a loving environment, and so you also should not have any issues. And that's why the book was also telling us that we are our own suffering. We are the cause of our own suffering, meaning there is no suffering in the world. We are the ones that cause the suffering. In case we are going through suffering, we are the ones that are causing it. Otherwise, there is no suffering. There are no problems, and nothing goes wrong until we make it wrong for our own self. I love it.
You only experience problems when you argue with the reality.
That's it.
That's all we need to know.
Can I give my take a little bit on that, just to add a few things here that will really help, because Feluke broke it down very well. I just want to put some, for our viewers, maybe something that can also help why it's so important to do personal development and just go beyond what we are taught, maybe even in our schools, and what we are taught even sometimes even in our churches. So you can go deep and understand things a little bit better, because if you can understand the laws of nature, there's so many books now that are helping you understand the laws of nature. When you understand them, even the word becomes very easy. Even when I read the Bible, it really literally for me, it changed a lot. The first thing, just to understand the law of attraction. That's why even when Feluke is saying somebody can know they need to change, but their habits cannot allow them to change. They don't even know what in them that is making them make decisions the way they're making those decisions. Even where they know for sure they need change, they don't make the change. So when you look at law of attraction, how it works is this. It just gives momentum. Even if you're having a wrong thought, it'll give momentum to that thought, because it will keep bringing the same type of thoughts to you that it'll be very hard for you to change your mind to a different thought. It will be very hard for you to change even the things that you want to change. That's why it's so important now to know how to start gradually changing the thoughts that are running in your head, so it makes it easier for you even to make a decision in your life. And when you make that decision, you can fight to only feel one direction of that decision, not feeling its opposite, because you understand, if I can just hold on and persist in thinking this way, the law of attraction will start bringing more thoughts that are in this way. Now, at some point, I'll overcome my old habits. That's one of the most important reasons why we say it's important to be in an environment where it helps you change, helps you think differently, because as you change those thoughts, you are changing your being completely. Second thing I want people to understand is the law of polarity. With the law of polarity, everything has its opposite. So if you see white, it has a black. If you see right, it has a left. That's how physical is. It has its opposite. Now, the challenge is understanding that when you see what you're calling a problem, if you have an understanding of the law of polarity, how it works, and understanding the difference in its opposite is not difference in nature, but the difference in degree. And you can polarize yourself or change your degree to the other opposite because you have an understanding. Let me say it in a little bit where you can understand with an example. You understand water? If you increase the heat on it, it becomes vapor. If you decrease the heat and freeze it, it will become like a stone. It did not change its nature. It's still H2O. But based on what vibration it's operating in, it changes. It looks like it's different, like liquid. It looks like it's gas. It looks like it's hard as a stone. And yet it's still H2O. So with the mind also, with your thoughts, the beggar man, the poor man, the rich man, they're not different minds. They're just different arrangement of that mind based on the frequency. When you're thinking heavy thoughts or depressing thoughts, it takes you like to the stone side. You are still a spirit, but on as hard as a rock at that point, things are harder to come, things are harder to change, and you are likely not to see the goodness of life because you're in a state where you can't perceive those things, or those things don't exist in that area. And if you lift your thoughts by polarizing yourself on the higher thoughts, by understanding I can change my vibration and vibrate on a higher level, and I can be like vapor now. And that's where the good things live. So now you can understand I can polarize myself regardless of what is going on. And that's the reason why even the Bible is telling you, don't walk by sight. Sight will cause you to go to a lower vibration. Versus if you use your imagination and polarize higher by using imagining what you are hoping for, even though there's no evidence of it, then the law of polarity, you're polarizing yourself on a higher level where the things work. The last one is just understanding from a science-based perspective. You're in medical field, professor. You know, even doctors know, the person who's positive when they are sick about the treatment, they're the ones who are more likely to get healed. Yes. Even though two people might be given the same medicine, the one who's so negative about even the treatment, it seems like the medicine is not even working with them. You see, it's a known phenomena. And also there's a placebo effect where it is known. Before they try giving the medicine out, they give a bunch of people a pill that looks like a pill, one with sugar, one with a chemical. And yet the results are astoundingly the same. So is it being healed because of the chemical or the belief of the pill itself? You understand? So there's a part that the unseen is working, whether you know it or not. It just becomes good when a person understands those laws and they start working with those laws with awareness or with knowing now. It makes it very easy to go through life versus when you don't understand it, because it's going to work whether you know it or not. So I give it back to you, our wonderful, wonderful professor.
Wow. Hey, nice. The laws of this book, it's working on everybody. Y'all have eaten the book, and you know all the laws. They are working. Nice. I'm looking at the time. We have come to the end of our session, and I'm just so grateful that you guys were invited and you showed up. You know, many a times people are invited and they don't show up. But I'm glad you came and you've answered these questions properly, nicely, with a lot of clarity and with a lot of nuggets, you know, as we are giving our viewers all these nuggets. Miss Joyce, 1 minute. What can you tell your viewers?
I like the way Coach has finished by there are laws in in everything, and they work the same way, even if you understand or you don't. So it's better you understand them. Like so, and life is not random.
It's not.
It is not against you. So we love complaining, like when we see this, you start blaming so and so as bewitched. You know, when we are at home there, we like saying that this is my neighbor.
Blaming God.
God is against me. So if you understand these laws, you will just be you will see like there is no problem. No, the problems, if there are, your mind is creating them. So if I was listening to this, I would just go and understand some of these laws. So I'm just encouraging our viewers to I just want them to if they want to join us, let them start by looking at our websites. Whichever that resonates with you, just put your name, your email address, and then listen to our webinar there. Just it is inspiring. And then from there, you come with better questions. We are ready here to answer them. And if you are the type to join us, you will come here and try to share with us here. And then that's it. So with that, I give it back to you, my wonderful professor.
Thank you, Ms. Feluke. 1 minute, please.
Okay, yeah, we've said a lot today about the law, and the other question that there's really no problem except for the one you created for yourself. So on that, I will be talking to our audience, and I'll be using that to still invite them in. Because the problem that you've created in your mind, like you've been seeing us, you've been seeing a lot of video ad talking about digital business, how it's helping thousands of people and all that. But you have a lot of problem that you've like created for yourself, a lot of limitations, limiting thoughts that you already have. I hope this topic that we treated today will help you to debunk them all. Because you've told yourself so many things, I cannot do this. These people showing up every day, can I? Number one, you've told yourself that, oh, online is not my thing. I am a shy person. You've told yourself you are skeptical. You've told yourself so many things. And the truth is that they are not as difficult as you have been looking at it. And that is why we are always telling you, come in. Our movement lady is not here. She will always say something of the pudding, the taste of the pudding is in the eating. Yes. So come in and see for yourself. If you're out there sitting there looking from afar, you keep nurturing those mindsets, those problems in your, all those things that is limiting you. Just come in. It's not as difficult. We have the system, like we always say. We have the trainings that will guide you every step of the way. We all here, we are not tech guru. So many people in this business don't even have a business background before they say yes to becoming a digital business owner. Everything you need to succeed is right in here. Just make that first step determination that, oh, you want to check it out, you want to transform your life, and you want to start something new, different from the usual things you have always been used to. So it's very simple. Watch our free info session, like Joy have rightly said. And when you watch that webinar, you want to take it a step further, connect with us. We'll be glad to hold your hand, walk you through the baby steps, and help you transition into becoming a business owner. So with that being said, I give it back to you.
Thank you. Coach, 1 minute. What can you tell our viewers?
I will tell our viewers everything has been said, and just understand nothing changes unless you change.
That's
and
right.
Literally, now you can see from our perspective, as much as it's about business, it's about your life. Literally, how you do one thing is how you do everything. If you're in an environment of growth, your life is going to grow in so many ways. If you want to get stuck and keep thinking and keep just thinking, just ask yourself, if nothing changes in your life and your life kept just the same line you are on, are you going to stay the same way? And the truth is, if you earn the same money the next 10 years, you literally have lost, because a couple of things will happen. Inflation is going to go up, taxes are going to go up, and you're going to be old, so you wouldn't be able to even put the same effort. And yet you have an opportunity to do something about it.
Now,
those things are inevitable. They're going to happen whether you like it or not. And God forbid, you can get sick tomorrow and you might not be able to do what you're supposed to do. What if you just gave yourself an insurance to make sure that if those life happens, you will be ready for it. It's better to be prepared and not ever get the opportunity than the opportunity comes and finds you unprepared. With that, I give it back to you, Professor.
Wow.
Mhm.
Okay. Nicely put. I am not even going to add anything else. From the studio, our viewers, we say bye-bye till tomorrow, 10 o'clock.
Thank you.
We thank you for coming
Thank
every
you.
day. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Awesome.
you.